Scafflogic introduces you to a world of logic. Hello and welcome to this Scafflogic step-by-step video series. In these videos, I will show you how to build a church. We will make the main building, the clock tower, the side buildings, and you will be shown how to build scaffolding to surround the main building, the clock tower, and to extend scaffold over the roof. You will also learn how to place a protected area and even how to build additional stairways. In this episode, we will start making our buildings. Let's begin with the main building by going to the Content menu, selecting Add Building, and entering our desired measurements. As you can see, we are using the Z hotkey to enter the measurements. As soon as we enter the measurement, the cursor jumps to the end of the radius circle. And as soon as I hit an angle, I get a guiding line. Now that we have our main building ready, let's build a side building. At the moment, we are not concerned with the height of the building. We are only concerned with the wall structures. We will attach the building and enter the desired measurements. And as always, it is important to finish off where we started. Now, let's make the clock tower. And again, we are using the building structure. Now the clock tower is ready. In 3D, you can see that we have the basic structures the way we want them. Let's go in now and enter the correct height. We will go into the properties of the main building and change the wall height to 650 centimeters. Once we click OK, the system instantly applies the changes. Now we will go down to the side building, go into Properties, and change the height to 260 centimeters. Finally, we will change the height of the clock tower to 2,000 centimeters. Let's see how they look now in 3D. Beautiful. Now we are ready to start building our church. In this episode, we will focus on making the actual gable and the roof. Let's start by going into the Content menu and creating the gable. We will just click on Edit Gable, insert our measurement, and copy the gable to the opposite side. We will then press Enter to confirm the copy. Now let's go down to the small side building and add a gable. Again, we will use the Edit Gable function to change the measurement, making it a bit smaller, and click OK. Remember to copy the gable even if it's connected to another building. Otherwise, we will not be able to add the roof. We will do the same on the clock tower. But first, let's take a quick look in 3D to see how things are coming along. We can follow the same process to edit the clock tower. Apply changes. Verify that everything is satisfactory, then click OK. We will finish by copying the gable to the other side. And in 3D, we see that we now have gables placed on all the structures. We can easily add a roof by right-clicking on the main building, going down to Roof Properties, and adding a roof. Then we can go in and adjust some of the parameters by going into Roof Properties. In this case, we will tell the system that we want the overhang set to 5 centimeters. Click OK and add the roof. We can follow the same procedure with the side building. Again, going into Properties, changing the overhang settings, and adding the roof. You can see by the red line where the roof slope is. Now we will do the same thing to the clock tower, going into Properties, changing the overhang settings, applying the settings to all sides, and adding the roof. In 3D, we can see that we have successfully added roofs to all the buildings. In this episode, we will finish the buildings by aligning the clock tower to the main building and adding additional properties to the roof. Let's start by adding the additional properties to the roof. And in this case, we know that we need scaffolding standing on the roof, so we need to give the system permission to do this by clicking on Allow Scaffolding on the roof. We will do the same with the side building, where we also need scaffolding going along this line. We check off the Allow Scaffolding on Roof option and click OK. Now, let's align the clock tower to the building. We'll drag the tower to the desired position. We go down to the Edit menu on the left side and switch on the Edit group, which allows us to glue building objects together. We will left-click and place the starting point of the rubber band, move to the next building, and left-click again to place the endpoint. Now the building is joined together. We need to add a gateway to the side building and to the clock tower. Let's add the gateway to this side building first. We will go into the Elevation menu and add Gateway. We will use the Z hotkey to enter the measurement. Now let's put a gateway in the clock tower as the entrance. We'll click on the wall we want to work with and go into the Elevation menu. Let's just zoom it out a little bit so we can see what we have to work with. We right-click on the Content menu and add Gateway. We will push the Z key, enter the measurement, and move the gateway into position. Now our building is ready for the scaffold. In this episode, we will start lining up the sections around the building. Let's start in the gable end. We will just select the right width and use the Add Bay function to make the gable first. As you can see, I am using the mouse wheel to rotate the gable, so the guardrails are facing to the outside. I continue to add my sections and use the Add Stripe function to make the next wall. Then I'll align the group so it fits perfectly to the wall. Let's use the stripe function on this wall side. We'll take the control point and drag it to the other end, allowing the system to come up with the optimal solution. We will accept this and apply the solution. Now we can use the copy function to use this same combination on the other side. As I am moving the section, I am using the mouse wheel to rotate it so the guardrails are on the outside. Let's place it and align it according to the wall. We need to make some minor adjustments, so we will zoom in a bit to be sure we are not in conflict with the overhang of the roof. We need to adjust farther out until we can see the gray line. Okay, that was the main building. Let's continue on with the clock tower. In a clock tower of this size, it is not recommended to use the stripe function, so we will use the Add Bay option where we can control all the bays we want. And again, I am rotating the sections as I move them, so the guardrails are on the outside. You can see that we have a protected area, but we don't need to be concerned about it right now, because the system will automatically make the appropriate adjustments. We will just use the space key to copy the bay and align it to the wall, keeping a safe distance between the wall and the scaffold. I will then place some corner sections so we can surround the building without difficulty. And let's continue with the side building. We will place each section like so, being sure to place the guardrails on the outside. We don't need to be concerned with the gutter line or the roof line because the system will take care of this afterwards. We will continue building our stripe by using the bay function. And we will align the bays like so. And now we need to build the back line, which will be standing on the roof. We will take a 157 centimeter section because we need to have some distance between the other stripe and the roof. We're running a 140 centimeter wide section, which will be perfect for a corner bay. We'll take sections from the front to make the clock tower symmetrical and place them as needed. At the moment we are intersecting with the roof, but we will adjust the sections accordingly until they are all placed. Now that the sections are all placed, we will select them by pressing the Control key and the Shift key at the same time. And now everything is ready for the creation of the scaffold. In this episode, we will generate the scaffold and complete the project. Let's just right-click on the building and select Generate Scaffold. As you can see, all the sections are blue, which means that all the sections have been selected. And now the system is making all the necessary calculations, and the scaffold will be generated to conform to the building dimensions. Once finished, we will just switch to 3D to see what we actually did. As you may recall, we did not make any specific measurement recommendations for the gables or for adjusting the height of the scaffolds. The system automatically reacted to the surroundings and came up with an optimal solution. The system also made space for the gateway and plotted solutions for the roof on the main building, the side building, and between the main building and the clock tower. Now let's go in and place some additional equipment. We will first place a stairway tower so we can access the clock tower scaffolding. In this case, we will use a double, which is a whole structure by itself, giving us the best choice possible for negotiating the scaffold. And in 3D, we can see that we now have a stairway tower going from the ground all the way up to the top. The system has adjusted to the ground surroundings and added protection. Let's make one more here on the main building. Again, we are right-clicking on the content menu, going down to Section, and adding the same type of stairway. Once placed, the system will instantly plot our solution and attach the stairway. As you can see, the system has no difficulties in adapting to the surroundings and placing the perfect stairway for this situation. Let's place one more on the other side, exactly the same way. And here we have it. Now we can go to 3D mode and look at the other side of the building to see the new staircase. And here we have a finished structure with scaffolding all around. We are now ready to begin renovations.